Got it. And
Got it.
all right, y'all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco at Northwest of Maxim. How are you? Guys, like to welcome you. This is what AstroCivics Sunday number 35, the Holy Koran Devotional for chapter 30. We're on chapter 39 now, right? We went from 48 and we're counting down, right? So the Holy Koran Devotional Countdown. I'm here with my magnificent and beloved brother in whom I'm well pleased. And he is
Islam, peace and love to you all. Yo soy hermano, Sean Aleem L. You already know that all is well. And bro, could you lend me some assistance, bro? What was that the appellation? What was that joint?
Brave
Whoops.
All righty, let's get it, y'all. That's always fun. So, guys, we're going into the Holy Quran devotional. Without further ado, we're just going to cut right to the chase. I'll do all the editing and things, on the fly, bro. When it's time. Well, actually, no, I'll just probably wait till afterwards because I would like for us to just get to it, knock it out, share what it is that we're to do, and maybe I might do some type of, if not a midnight moon mix, I might want to do something on Instagram, bro. Maybe we'll go over perfections or something. I'll see, so people can come on to Instagram tonight. I might make it so that, they can probably text their natal time, natal date, natal location if they choose, and we'll do a limited kind of reading without being too revealing, because I would much rather it be private, personal. However, due to popular demand, and shout out to my beloved mother, Mistress Consort, please, she had even mentioned, about the annual, perfection, readings online to assist the people and see where they are, at this time, which, the annual perfection really just requires that I know your age and what your ascendant is, right? And, I can take things from there, actually. But, as we do, we could, probably, I could cast a chart on the fly, or really, if people know they're ascending, because before we were sending people, 7healstar.com, of course, because we have a free natal chart calculator, right? Our website has a free natal chart calculator on there that we, put there from, our colleagues or whatever. However, we just have it there so you can cast your chart there. You know what I mean? That's just how that goes. However, with that being said, guys, again, we're going to probably be on Instagram just to give you a heads up. So without further ado, let's just get right to it, do our invocation in, right? And the 2 letters to be read in every meeting. And we'll get right into our Holy Quran devotional countdown for AstroCivics Sunday number 35. We're going in on the holy instructions from the prophet, Pinnacle of Wisdom, chapter 39. All right. So let I go and do the screen share.
I think the people are all right. They made it through the tough part of the Quran.
I mean, maybe. Who knows how they'll take chapter 39 here, right? And just a reminder, we're reading from the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Administrative Functions, pages 48 and 49 is what you're looking at right now. On page 48, handsomely standing Dugard in his Moorish Sharif Fez, and Abba is Prophet Noble Jurali, all right, founder, right? When it comes to the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, doing religious corporate activity being the Moorish Science Temple of America, right? Because this is a religious affidavit, right? For a religious corporation, like corporation, religious affidavit of organization, right? And it's the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, right? Adopting its corporate name, Moorish Science Temple of America. And that's what Prophet Noble Jurali is the founder pertaining to, all right? So guys, we are going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index and middle on the right. We're going to face east, which is metaphysically symbolic to going within. East is within. You guys check your reference for the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary by Charles Fillmore. You'll be able to see where we're getting that from. You can either repeat after me, either aloud or in your heart. Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love,
truth,
truth,
peace,
peace,
freedom,
freedom,
and justice.
and justice.
Allah is my protector,
Allah is my protector,
my guide,
my God,
and my salvation,
and my salvation,
by night
by night
and by day,
and by day.
through his holy prophet,
Through his holy prophet,
noble Drew Ali.
noble Drew Ali.
Amen. All right, y'all. Let's get it. All righty, guys. Brother Sean is going to go into the first letter to be read in every meeting. Again, we're here at Moor, Holy Temple of Science, Administrative Functions, pages 84 and 85. And we yield the floor to our beloved brother, whom we're well pleased, Brother Sean Ali Mel, Islam.
Islam. The following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini, some said AD. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. Administrative functions. Moor Science Temple of America, Home Office 3603 Indiana Avenue. Noble Drew Ali, the founder. Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929. To be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear brother Islam, I am glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me, so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility, quote unquote. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work, in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish Divine and National Movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Noble Drew Ali, Islam.
Islam. Just sending this out to the beloved Mother Oracle. All righty. And guys, we're going to go to the Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper, pages 12 and 13. There on page 12, you see again handsomely standing due guard in his Moorish Sharif Fez and the Baz Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And here on page 13, divine warning by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors order to read proclamation at each meeting. All right. Just respond to her. Hey there, mother. All right. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your card at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the laws laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting the prophet and the temple, protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of the law to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of prophet Noble Drew. Just going to back one out here and go right into the Holy Quran for the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Science Temple of America, right? We're here at chapter 39, Holy Instructions from the Prophet, Pinnacle of Wisdom. And as I shall ad-lib my beloved brother in whom I'm well pleased, Brother Sean Ali Mellis, he reads, I yield the floor, Islam.
Islam, there we go. Minutes or verse 1. As the eye of the morning to the lark, as the shade of the evening to the owl, as honey to the bee, or as the carcass to the vulture, even such is life unto the heart of man.
Looky, Astro Cookie. I yield, man. I don't think that needs too much ad-libbing other than what I just said.
Indeed, though bright, it dazzleth not. Though obscure, it displeaseth not. Though sweet, it cloyeth not. Though corrupt, it forbiddeth not. Yet who is he that knoweth its true value?
Look at that, man. What is cloy? When people think of it, if you look at the etymology for cloy, it's like something that's kind of nailed down, pinned down, sort of. It's also comes from the same root as like the clavicle, the collarbone. But to be filled to satiety also, or satiety also. So even though it's sweet, you don't find yourself like having the sugar blues stuck to the couch of the bed because you're going through the itis, as some people say. It's having a gluttonous effect. So that's what cloy is. So cloy is not. So who knows the true value pertaining to life, to man, right? 39 is a beautiful chapter because it puts things into perspective as far as, especially when it gets to the verse talking about how the soul is like the bird in the cage, and the cage would be, the body that you're navigating upon your ancestral estate. However, I yield, bro. Minute 3.
Learn to esteem as thou ought, then art thou near the pinnacle of wisdom.
Look at that. So estimate, as you want to, learn to estimate, and that's like being realistic, right? And then are you near the pinnacle pertaining to wisdom? Because you have a proper estimation. Are you?
Think not with a fool that nothing is more valuable, nor believe with the pretended wise that thou oughtest to condemn it. Love it not thyself, but for the good it may be of to others.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, like I said, we're here to serve one another, right? Dear fathers, by these lessons, you can set your house in order so that your little ones will learn and love instead of hate, right? That's for us brothers. Like, and I'm not saying that there isn't, for the mothers, let me just not leave it out because I'm about to say it's not like there's not an instruction for mothers. The mothers is their mothers. Teach these lessons to your little ones so that they may learn and love instead of hate. For the fathers, it's dear fathers, by these lessons, you can set your house in order so that your little ones will learn and love instead of hate. So, utilizing your life for that good, right? And remember we're someone's little ones, no matter how grown we get. So we're always here to do a service to one another, and share, what it is that we do. And that's what I enjoy that, I and my brothers do. We do our best in making sure we're finding multiple ways in doing good with the existence that we have here on Midgard, Earthplane Asha. And I yield the floor to Islam.
Gold cannot buy it for thee, Neither mines of diamonds purchase back the moment thou hast now lost it. Employ the succeeding ones in virtue.
Look at that. Look at that.
Say not that it were best not to have been born, or if born that it had been best to die early. Neither dare thou to ask of thy creator, quote, where has been the evil had I not existed, end quote. Good is thy power, the want of good is evil, and if thy question be just, lo, it condemneth thee.
Yeah, so you're condemning yourself, when you're saying, where's the evil been had I not existed? So it's like you're saying that, the evil is tied to your existence. So you're kind of like condemning yourself. Whereas the power that you have, is good. I know power is an illusion. However, we know that we're dealing with, an illusory existence. So why not be virtuous, employ virtue, right? Do good, be good. Because with that, you wouldn't have to want. For Psalm 23, right? Lord is my shepherd, I should not want, or I should not lack, right? And the Lord is your overall divine mindset. All right. That's exactly what it is. When you look up Lord in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary by Charles Fillmore, it'll give you clarity. All right. So those of you that are part of Prophet Noble University, you already can access that at will. All right. So I yield the floor, bro. It's on.
Would the fish swallow the bait if he knew the hook were hidden therein? Would the lion enter the toils if he saw they were prepared for him? So neither were the soul to perish with this clay, neither would a merciful Father have created him. No hence thou shalt live afterwards. So
in other words, like, you being an astral being, right? The astral plane, which is the plane after the soul plane is the causal plane. So the astral plane, so, the soul puts on, the spirit puts on the soul, and then the soul puts on the body. And so there, just in 7, it's speaking on, there's still being life after one not animating the clay. All right. So it's basically also saying, think good, do good, be good with the life that you have, instead of, worrying and concerning yourself with things that really aren't beneficial to you or for you. However, I yield. Islam.
As the bird enclosed in the cage before he seeth it, yet teareth not his flesh against its sides. So neither labor thou vainly to run the state thou art in, but know it is allotted thee, and be content with it.
Right. So if one wanted to look at the bird being the spirit and the bird's flesh being the soul, the body would be the cage. So you don't see, the soul, the spirit tearing the soul up against the inside of the body, so to speak. Right. And with that being said, it's saying right there. So neither labor you vainly. So don't be vain to run the state you are in. In other words, like to just kind of like hurry things up to get over it or whatever. But no, it's allotted to you and be content with it. So it's like, obviously there is something that you're to complete with that portion that you've been allotted. There's something that you're to do good with what it is that you have, right? Now you?
Though its ways are uneven, yet they are not all painful. Accommodate thyself to all, and where there is the least appearance of evil, suspect the greatest danger.
Right. So, it's almost like though its ways are uneven, like it's speaking to, I guess, like some unfairness, yet they are not all painful, right? So accommodate yourself to all. In other words, like kind of like allow yourself to, deal with it accordingly. And where there's the least appearance of evil. There could be some great danger there. You know what I mean? Like, you think you're going to go somewhere where it's like, oh, so it's so great, it's so peaceful. I'm going to go and be over here with this group of people that seemingly are doing this righteous thing. And then you go there and you see it's probably more problems than righteousness taking place there. And this is why it's best for you to exert reason and be prudent so you can bring about your own resolution. I yield.
Bro, you said exactly what I was thinking. I was like, oh, no need for me to say it.
It's not.
On that experience, evil is fine. When thy bed is straw, thou sleepest in security. But when thou stretchest thyself on roses, beware of the thorns.
Right. And it's not saying like, just cop the cheapest thing and then you'll be good. It's just that you know that straw is straw. It's really no added beauty or no dehydrated leaves or leaves that weren't able to absorb the water from the stem because all the water was going to the rose's head, therefore creating what's known as thorns. Thorns are just leaves that could not absorb water. So with that being said, going for that which is a beauty rest, sometimes you go to rest on that which is beautiful. It may come with pain, oh, hey man, I got this California king, man. It's like, are you in that California king by yourself? Hey man, I got this California king, right? You don't have a pillow top and it's hurting your back. Hey man, I got this, California king, and it's like, what? Now you're like, oh man, I'm regretting how much I exchanged for it. Those are the possible thorns that could come from that. However, you may be on, who knows, you might remember, hey man, that queen size bed I was in was much more comfortable. Like, it's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? That's a very strong possibility. Right. So yeah, straw is obviously something that will not have an uncomfortableness to it when you're laying on, unless like the straw is like prickling you, if it's got some shredded edges or some burrs, maybe, right? However, with that being said, even if you lay a cloth over it, I don't think it will prick you as much as thorns would. Thorns would go through some type of blanket, be it too thin. Hey, yo, bro, Islam.
A good death is better than an evil life. Strive, therefore, to live as long as thou oughtest, not as long as thou canst. While thy life is to others worth more than thy death, it is thy duty to preserve it.
All right, self-preservation. Look at that. So make great decisions, because, what you could be doing with your life could be more valuable to other people. And people may not even let you know that, However, what it is that you do, you're actually doing such a great good that, there may be, because some people don't even think about it, you decide to come back, or you have to, reincarnate, so to speak. Because, once you finish levels here, onto the astral plane, see what levels you have to complete there. And if you get there and they're like, hey, man, there's a couple other things you need to do back on the 5-cycle plane. It's like, okay, boom. Then, you're called to reanimate some clay again, right? Due to what you did in a previous incarnation, you may be, allotted some rewards due to you being useful and meaningful to the rest of humanity in that in that previous incarnation. All right. I yield, beloved brother Islam.
Complain not with the fool of the shortness of thy time. Remember, with thy days, thy cares are shortened.
With your days, your cares are shortened. Right? Because
take from
be doing some good with it. Yeah. There's no need to be, wallowing about, what you haven't done with someone else, pity partying with you. I yield.
Take from the period of thy life the useless part of it, and what remaineth.
That's woo-wee. Go ahead, I yield.
Right?
Mhm.
Take off the time of thine infancy, thy second infancy of age, thy sleep, thy thoughtless hours, thy days of sickness, and even at thy fullness of years. How few seasons has truly numbered.
Yeah, in other words, like, what did you, outside of those things, what did you really do? Right? What was really accomplished? You know, how much time did you have, so to speak? Or continue.
Mhm. He who gave thee life as a blessing shortened it to make it even more so.
Wow. And that's for those that are not in the mindset of, being virtuous, exerting reason and being prudent to get to their resolution. I yield.
He was really giving it in her to what end would longer life have served thee? Wishes thou to have had an opportunity of more vices? As to the good, will not he who limited thy span be satisfied with the fruits of it?
In other words, like with what you've been done, whatever it is that you did and been fruitful with pertaining to your life, what is it that you could want more? And it's funny too, because like I was telling you earlier, Brother Sean, like, been kind of binging Black Mirror a little bit on Netflix. And it's like, wow, I'm like literally going over to chapter 39. Wow, Black Mirror is playing. And it's like, man, because, Black Mirror, besides the unnatural fuckery that's within it, what I do recognize, it's completely about trying to extend life in some type of meta existence, right? Doing consciousness transference, right? Trying to, extend life within, some type of simulated object or something like that. It's interesting. So that brings me to say, like, okay, so if one would want more life, like, to do what? Because more vices would be like to do more fuckery. You know what I mean? And if you've done some greatness and greatness that needed to be done, then what could you be pining about, right? Repining about, so to speak. However, I yield, bro. It's fine.
Mhm. To what end, O child of sorrow, wouldst thou live longer? To breathe, to eat, to see the world? All this thou hast done often already. Too frequent repetition? Is it not tiresome? Or is it not superfluous? Superfluous?
Right. Yeah, superfluous. Yeah. So it's
Superfluous.
like, do you think that you're not bored with it, or, or is it too much? Right. And I know it could seem like the way it's going with this chapter, it's like, dad, what is this basically saying? Just, get over it and die already? Like, that's not what it's really saying. It's saying, like, you're kind of wasting your time with even thinking about that topic, when just, if you just be virtuous, you're good. Exert reason, be prudent to get to your resolution. And when you exert reason, and being prudent, that means you're choosing to be virtuous, right?
Mhm.
That's going to bring you resolve much more easier than trying to finagle and finesse an outcome. Are you?
Fine.
Islam?
Islam, wouldst thou improve thy wisdom and thy virtue? Alas, what art thou to know? Or who is it that shall teach thee? Badly thou employest the little thou hast. Dare not, therefore, to complain that the more is not given thee.
Wow, it's saying already you did bad in employing what you have already. They're not there, so dare not, therefore, to complain that you didn't have enough time, or you need more to be able to do things with, because what you've been given to do things with, maybe you could have done more and didn't recognize it. I yield, bro. It's not.
Repine not in thy want of knowledge, It must perish within the grave. Be honest here. Thou shalt be wise hereafter.
Wow. Be honest. Wow.
That goes with chapter 40 or 41. I think we went over is like be honest or be
Yeah.
truthful and no oath is needed. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. Might 43 maybe. I'm not sure. Like we had to go back and look at that, but yeah. Might have been 42. Let's see. Let's see. Might be 43. Interesting. I am checking 43 though. Oh yeah, 43:23, man.
Okay.
You see it?
Yep. When thou givest an oath, when thou swearest thou wilt not deceive, behold it, spur the shame upon thy face, and upon the face of him that receiveth it. Learn to be just, and repentance may be forgotten. Learn to be honest, and oaths are necessary.
Oaths aren't necessary. So when you be honest, be wise here, Evan. So that's why it's interesting to go, and count down as we're reading, right? And I know people like, you'll be wise in the hereafter. Like, what do you mean? Like, so there goes speaking about some afterlife and stuff like that. I mean, once you finish here on the 5-cycle plane, it's still 2 more planes you got to do work on. The astral plane, which is the plane pertaining to soul, and then after that, after you've done the good that's needs to be done there, then it's the causal plane to have things completed. All right. I yield, bro. Islam.
Islam. 20. Say not unto the crow, why numberest thou 7 times thy Lord? Or to the fine, why art thine eyes to see my offspring 100 generations? Are these to be compared with thee in the abuse of life?
Wow. These to be compared with you in the abuse of life. Wow. That's why being virtuous is where it's at. I yield.
Are they riotous? Are they cruel? Are they ungrateful? Learn from them. Rather, that innocence of manners are the paths of good old age.
Wow, that's what you learn from those beings, right? What he's talking about, learning from, as it says here, from the crow and from the fawn. That's what it is. So what is the crow and the fawn doing? Well, the crow and the fawn are obviously having innocence pertaining to their manners. Look at that. Innocence of manners are the path to good old age. Looky, Astro cookie. I yield.
All right. Knowest thou to employ life better than these? Then less of it may suffice thee.
Wow. Because it's like, what could you know better than innocence of manners? It's like, then do less of that. Because it might be more sufficient to you to not think you have something better than innocence of manners. I yield.
Man, mind, who dares enslave the world when he knows he can enjoy its tyranny, but for a moment, what would he not aim at if he were immortal?
So yeah, like one was immortal, they would probably try to, maybe you would want to like control everybody, control how people eat when they eat, and it's funny too, because when I read that one, man, I'm like, this thing about these beings that are doing the attorney's bidding, right? Because the attorneys are the reason why people are enslaved. People that aren't federal, state, municipal, local, city, county agents. They're not agents for these, entities. Yet their life's energy is being adjudicated upon as if they are, because they have, they have not disclaimed the birth certificate. They have not disclaimed, as we know, the birth certificate is a foundling certificate. Whose authority is under 5 United States Code 301, and Title 5 of the United States Code is governmental organization and employees. So the foundling certificate, which is commonly known as a birth certificate, are for employees of governmental organizations. So when people are getting birth certificates thinking it's the right thing to do, you have now allowed your child to be counted as a government organization employee. And then when you get the Social Security number, 20 CFR 422.104 lets you know who may be issued a Social Security number. And you, who gets a Social Security number, are one who owes a debt to the United States. So when you are allowing your child to get a foundling certificate to make them a governmental organization employee, then you're getting a Social Security number for them to make them one who owes a debt to the United States. Shout out to Mother Rashida Bey, because I asked her, I said, do Moors owe a debt to the United States? And she's like, no. That's why I was like, why would any Moor have a Social Security number then? Why? Because we're here at our ancestral estate and under the occupation of beings who think we need to have those things, when really what we should be doing is taking what I'm saying right now to these people and have them to take it seriously, to read it and recognize, hey, like, you guys have to stop this. You guys, it has to go to the higher ups and all that. Like, this practice has to stop. It should only be for those that are knowingly recorded being governmental organization employees and those that owe a debt to the United States. Other than that, you need not a birth certificate. You need not a Social Security number. All of that off of chapter 39, verse 23, degree 39, minute 23. Man who dares enslave the world. When he knows he can enjoy his tyranny, but for a moment. The reason they can only be for a moment is because everybody now can speak up. Oh, hey, look, hey, I'm not a 5 USC 301 governmental organization employee, nor am I 20 CFR 422.104. You. And you means, according to that code of federal regulation, one who owes a debt to the United States. So yeah, when I see that, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, that's more of a backup of using your Quran and putting it in your writs. You have the floor, bro. Islam.
Enough hath thou life, but thou regardest it not. Though thou art not in want of it, O man, O mine, but thou art prodigal.
Prodigal.
Thou threwest lightly away, as if thou hadst more than enough. And yet thou repinest that is not gathered again unto thee. Know that it is not abundance which maketh rich, but economy.
But economy, with a capital E. Eco, from the Greek, oikos, means house. Nomi, from the, I think it's Latin, nomia, I'm not mistaken, nomia, law. So oikos nomia means house law, which is house management. Because the law is how you properly manage the outcome pertaining to something. So it's not abundance which makes you rich. It's one exerting reason, being prudent, thus virtually bringing about a resolution. That's economy. I yield.
The wise continueth to live from his first period. The fool is always beginning.
Wow. Wow. I yield.
Labor not after riches first, and think thou wilt afterwards enjoy them. He who neglecteth the present moment throweth away all that he hath. As the arrow passes through the heart, while the warrior knew not that it was coming, so shall his life be taken away before he knoweth that he hath it.
Look at that. So, house management, right? Be wise. Man, be wise. Do not be frivolous with any type of energy. I yield.
What then is life? That man or mind should desire it? What? Breathing that he should covet it?
Wow. Like you already got it and you're not appreciating what you have. But you don't know what you got till it's gone. That's exactly what 26 was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what you got till it's gone. Oh, no. Anyway, I yield, bro. It's fine.
Is it not a scene of delusion, a series of misadventures, a pursuit of evils linked on all sides together? In the beginning, it is ignorance. Pain is in its middle, and its end is sorrow.
Look at that. Why? Because one's not exerting reason or being prudent. That's coming to a virtuous resolution. By being virtuous, to be virtuous is to exert reason and be prudent. I yield.
Mm-hmm. As one wave pusheth on another, till both are involved in that behind them, even so succeedeth evil to evil in the life of man. The greatest and the present swallow up the lesser and the past.
Look at that.
Our terrors are real evils. Our expectations look forward into impossibilities.
Jesus, mercy Christ. I yield, man.
Fools to dread as mortals and to desire as if immortal.
Wowzer. I think it's more immortal to not dread your mortal self, right? Because you're then having the innocent of manners. Takes you in the good old age. Okay, I yield.
What part of life is it that we should wish to remain with us? Is it youth? Can we be in love with outrage, licentiousness, and temerity?
Yeah, licentiousness, right? Like you have a
Licentiousness.
Like you have a license to kill. But anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, I yield.
Is it age? And then we are fond of infirmities.
Right, because in your youth, you're probably outrageous, licentious, and expressing temerity. And then in age is like, you need to be taken care of. That's what it was talking about, your infancy, the second infancy in age. Right? When you're like really, really old and need people to help you. However, if you're exerting reason, being prudent, maybe you are partaking in, nutrition where you're healthy and strong. Maybe you're still exercising. Maybe your bones aren't weak and muscles aren't, deteriorating.
All right. And then you also look at it too. It's like when we're young, we're like, oh, I can't wait to be older. And then folks get older, like, man, I wish I was younger. That's why I'm saying just to enjoy and be present in that moment. Because then, it's like, oh, I can't wait till I get older. And it's like, oh, shit, that's what it is when it's older. I want to go back to when I was younger. So it's just enjoying every stage and every part and not wishing for something or desiring something. And then when it gets to that stage and one is experiencing misery because now they got what they wanted, but now they dread what they got, what they had wanted.
Yes, ma'am.
32. It is said, gray hairs are revered, and length of days in honor. Virtue can add reverence to the bloom of youth, and without it, age plants more wrinkles in the soul than on the forehead.
Jesus, firstly Christ. Like that's plain right there, man. Goodness gracious. I yield.
Is age respected because it hateth riot? What justice is in this when it is not age that despiseth pleasure, but pleasure that despiseth age?
Wow. Wow. I yield.
So, be virtuous while thou art young, so shall thine age be honored.
Be virtuous while you are young, so shall your age be honored. Right? You ain't got to have riotous living and be prodigal. Right? And just be virtuous. Right? I'd like to thank you all for joining I and our beloved brother, in whom we're well pleased, Brother Hasan L, for our Holy Koran Devotional. Right? And like I said, I'll do all the editing once we yield. Want to go and assist my beloved Mother Mistress Consort with the baby, right? And
it's the great baby.
So with that being said, what'd you say, bro?
Oh, I said it's the great baby.
Yeah, you're hilarious. Yes. So with that being said, guys, let me check the chat real quick before we go, just to make sure, because I know I didn't check the chat. We were just kind of like going in, right? So we have Mother Sahar says, peaceful greetings, Brother Hasan and Brother Sean. Peaceful greetings to you too, Mother Sahar. Brother 7, Judah Bilal Bey says, peace and love. Indeed, brother. JLB says, peaceful greetings, one and all. Peaceful greetings to you. Mother Sahar says, peaceful greetings to everyone in the chat. Brother Dark Blash Bay says, peaceful greetings, everyone. GLV says, jump in. Indeed. Slim Herman says, peace and love indeed to you, Slim. Our beloved son, in whom well please. John Alexander Dixon Bay says, gratitude for the teachings. Indeed. Mother Janelle Blash L says, peaceful greetings. Indeed. JL says, Islam, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Islam to you, JL. Brother 7, Judah Bilal Bey says, Islam. Mother Carmisha says, Islam. Brother Hasan and Brother Sean, Islam Moors. Indeed, Mother Carmisha. Slim Harbin says, 100. Mother Sahar says, indeed. Virtually bringing about a resolution, right? Says Mother Sahar also. And JLB says, free one's mind. The body is not a prison, but an expression of the soul and spirit. And indeed, too. Yeah. Indeed, right? That's another thing that one could get from reading this also, right? Because, like instead of looking at it like a cage, it could be a means for you to actually, really express the innocence pertaining to manners. Mother Sahar says, Islam. JLB says, sincere gratitude and love. And Brother Dark Blash Bay says, the past teaches us to live in the present. Indeed, guys. We're going to stand now and face east. Once again, east metaphysically denotes within. We're going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index and middle on right, as we face east. All right. And you can repeat after me either aloud or in your heart. Islam.
I got it, bro.
Oh, that's right, bro. I forgot, man. My apologies. You can repeat after Brother Sean, either aloud or in your heart. Islam.
Islam. Allah, the Father, universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
and justice.
and justice.
Allah is my protector,
Allah is my protector,
my guide,
my guide,
and my salvation.
and my salvation.
By night
By night
and by day.
and by day.
Through his holy prophet,
The Holy Prophet,
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen. And guys,
Amen.
we'd like to thank you for joining us today for our Holy Koran Devotional Countdown. Make sure you join us tomorrow for Intuition Monday as we go in on the Sun and Breast Cancer, or, as one of those old favorite throwback songs, Summer, Summer, Summertime, Summertime.
Right?
Sit back and rewind.
And we might, don't forget, we might go live tonight too on Instagram, guys. We might be doing some annual perfection reading. So you want to join us there, you want to tell somebody to come and check it out, right? And get a brief reading to kind of get a sneak preview of what are some things that we do as far as annual perfection. You can come and check it out and we'll see what we can possibly see just by going off the top of the head. You know what I mean? Like if you already know your ascendant and your age, that would be great. Just see where the planets are right now as far as what you could possibly be going through right now as far as your perfection is concerned. Let's say, for example, you're 24. You're having a first house perfection, right? And then what's your ascendant, right? Let's say you're Leo ascendant, right? At 24, then I will go to see where's the sun, right? We know the sun's in Gemini right now, so it's just letting me know you being a Leo ascendant, you're really focusing on group activities, having things shared electronically a lot. You're probably doing a lot of texting and things of that nature also, or find yourself learning new technology. So that would be an example of looking at some annual perfection stuff, right? So, and that's perfection, right? To move forward, right? However, I and my bros at 7heelstar.com can do so much more astrologically than we even show online, guys. Like, that's why it's best for you to schedule your Mirror AstroLiteracy session and get your Mental Magician report, right? That's how we like to do it from here on out, guys. It's $153 for each, the Mirror session and the Mental Magician report. Alrighty, our brother Sean prepares. We're all qualified to do reports and sessions. However, you guys see what it is that we're doing here. Either one can do either one, but brother Sean is the one that's mainly promoting that as far as the Mental Magician reports for the Mirror Astro Literacy sessions, even though we can do both. All right. So remember to 7heelstar.com, subscribe for our email that comes out every Thursday. And anything else, Brother Sean? Be yourself and
donate and love yourself.
Guys. Exactly. Donate, guys. The CashApp for 7heelstar is the Caduceus symbol, which is called $, OurAstrologyStreet, OUR, right? Astrology Street, all one word. And for 720 Astro Healing, that's Astro, ASTRAL, right? 720 Astro Healing. It's exactly that for the CashApp also, all right? Our respective CashApps for 7heelstar and 720 Astro Healing. All righty. And with that being said, our brother Dark Glass Bey says, love and respect everyone. And some Herman says, gratitude, nobles. All right, y'all. We love you all. This is where we say namaste. Namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace.